Smackdown was a middle-of-the-road show. The beginning of the show was not good, so the first 90 minutes wasn't good. The last 90 minutes of the show was actually pretty decent to all right. It was not good, it wasn't bad, it was just decent to all right, in my opinion. The John Cena, CM Punk stuff was actually great. I thoroughly enjoyed that. It was rather long, which we know why, but it was still a good segment nonetheless. That was great. Randy winning the King of the Ring, that's fine. You know, he advances to the finals. That makes perfect sense. Sami Zayn's still going to be on the Crown Jewel card, obviously. They're probably going to do him and Karrion Kross, so that's probably why he lost. So they'll probably put him and Kross on the actual card. That'll be great for both guys, so that's good there. Before we get into the review, SmackDown is going to go back to 2 hours. Apparently, it's going to go back to 2 hours starting July 4th, which is great. If it doesn't happen then, it'll definitely happen the next week. So that's fine. So if it does not happen on the 4th, it'll probably happen on the 11th. So that's good either way. I don't think that the 3-hour format worked for SmackDown. It was boring. A 3-hour format can work for a wrestling show if you have stories and people that the audience and those of us watching at home actually care about. But WWE doesn't really have that, especially on SmackDown. SmackDown's flooded with a bunch of mid-carders. So, yeah. But thankfully, SmackDown will go back to 2 hours on July 4th. So we don't have too much longer of this 3-hour nonsense. All right, let's go ahead and get into the review. So we kick the show off with LA Knight. He gets a really good reaction as per usual. He doesn't really say much of anything. He just basically says that he wants to get his hands on Seth Rollins. It's basically they've cost him his match, and he cost them their match as well. They've been going back and forth from Raw and SmackDown. So basically, LA Knight calls out Seth Rollins. Paul Heyman shows up on the behalf of Seth Rollins. Heyman really doesn't say anything. He just says that he's a fan of LA Knight. And he basically tells LA Knight that if he doesn't leave Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan, then something really bad is going to happen to him before the end of the night. So, basically, Paul Heyman just continues to blab on some more. He put over Seth Rollins and everything else. Then LA Knight gets on the mic. He says that Paul Heyman's just looking for his next meal ticket. He's a leech. That's all he does. So LA Knight says that he's going to turn his back. And he wants Paul Heyman to take the first shot. It's going to be him and Paul Heyman. So Paul Heyman just gets out of Dodge. And he tells LA Knight that the bad thing to happen to him tonight is not a prediction. I mean, what's not a prediction, it's going to be a spoiler. So, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, they come out, and then they get into a brawl with LA Knight. And then LA Knight has a steel chair in hand, and he beats down both guys with it. Pause. And that was the end of the segment. So the heels kind of cower away. This is fine. I do like this. Apparently, LA Knight's going to be going to Raw in the next little bit. I don't know when the draft is. I think the draft's going to be in the fall. That's fine. But LA Knight can definitely go to Raw way before the draft, if we're being honest. But this is the good position for LA Knight to be in. LA Knight definitely needs to have a change of scenery. he's been totally wasted on SmackDown, like totally fucked over. So I think he'll be better on Monday Night Raw, and it should happen in due time. Moving on. So this leads us into Paul Heyman, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker. They're backstage. Basically, so Byron Saxton tries to interview the guys. Braun Breaker, for whatever reason, starts barking like a fucking dog, which is hilarious. Basically, Byron then tells them that he's got to work for Nick Aldis, and it's going to be Bronson Reed versus LA Knight. So, there's that. Paul Heyman then thanks Byron, and then Paul Heyman tells Bronson Reed that patience is not a virtue, it's a strategy. Okay, that's fine there. Moving on. The first match of the night, Alexa Bliss versus Asuka, Queen of the Ring. Asuka advances. The match was okay. It wasn't long. It was maybe about, I want to say 8 to maybe 12 minutes long. I really wasn't paying attention. So Asuka basically wins via the Empress Impact. I don't like that. I know she tried to go for the Asuka lock during the match, but Alexa Bliss was able to fight out of it. But I think that Asuka should just focus on doing that, using the Asuka lock versus trying to do the Empress Impact. She's not Jada Parker. She ain't got an ass like that. You know what I'm saying? Moving on. This leads us into a backstage segment involving Jade Cargill, B-Fab, and Michin, aka Mia Yim. So B-Fab tells them that Asuka's back and made a statement. Michin tells her that they should talk to Nick Aldis about making an impact for the women's tag team titles, which to me that's fine because apparently from reports the titles are going to be vacated, so that's probably what they're going to do. Basically, they'll probably do a little tournament basically and just put a bunch of makeshift tag teams together. Who cares? Byron Saxton comes in. He asked about Jade Cargill against a match against Roxanne Perez. Jade tells him that Roxanne has potential, which she does. She's quick and scrappy, but she's still trying to prove herself, and this is not a training room. Jade says she is the Storm. This tournament was not built for the future. She says she's not walking in just to win. She's walking in to reign. I like that. That was a really, really good promo there. Jade Cargill is my pick to win. Obviously, it's going to be Jade and Asuka in the finals. That should be good, and Jade Cargill should still win. So, yeah, because I did think that Asuka's still going to be at SummerSlam, just not in the title picture, but she's going to be at SummerSlam still. So, although maybe they could do Asuka and Io still, maybe, but I doubt it. But Asuka doesn't need to win Queen of the Ring for that to happen, though. So, moving on. So we get some Secret Harvest stuff, basically. So Chelsea Green says that she should have been in the tournament. So Charlotte Flair comes in, who tells Chelsea that she should be in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Had it not been for Chelsea's replacement, she would have been in it, talking about Alexa Bliss. So Green, she leaves the screen, and then Alexa tells Charlotte she doesn't need her help, and Charlotte Flair tells her she wasn't going to help her. Okay, that's fine. So this leads us into a match that we were supposed to get. It was supposed to be Kit Wilson from Pretty Deadly versus Aleister Black. It never happened because R-Truth showed up in a hoodie and beat the shit out of Kit Wilson. He locked him in the STF twice, which was great. And then Aleister and Truth, they had a little stare down with each other. Aleister was pissed about this. This is fine. This makes perfect sense. It didn't need to happen anyway, if we're being honest. I mean, because Aleister could have done the Black Mass 1, 2, 3, and that would have been sufficient there. So this is fine. I was thinking that maybe they were going to have Aleister, kind of attack R-Truth, but it didn't happen. Or I was also thinking in the back of my mind, maybe Nakamura was going to show up and him and Aleister, they were going to start their feud probably. And that could still happen. So that's fine there. That's something that Triple H has probably on the back burner. Boiling, I guess. I don't know. But I'm just putting it out there. I do think that's what's going to happen with Aleister. He's going to be feuding with Shinsuke Nakamura. To me, that's fine. Moving on. So, Jamie Noble, he's backstage with R-Truth. He tells him that he wants Cena. So Aleister Black comes in and asks R-Truth, why is he getting involved in his matches? R-Truth tells him it's nothing personal. It had nothing to do with him. So both men, they come face to face. Damian Priest comes in, who tells Aleister Black that Truth is going through a lot and just let him talk to him. So Aleister Black then leaves. Damian Priest tells him he gets it to R-Truth. He used to do that, but R-Truth was the guy that used to make him smile. He tells him to use that anger and negativity and to focus it on his match with John Cena. And after that, they can go out and celebrate. And then Truth tells him that sounds good, and then the two of them shake hands. Okay, that's fine. That's pretty cool there. I like that. That's pretty cool. So good stuff there. I'm really digging this serious side of Ron Killings. I do like this. I mean, he's serious. You can tell that he's not. You can tell him he's no bullshit. He's no nonsense. So I do like that. So good stuff there. Moving on. So this leads us into Cody Rhodes. He doesn't really say anything because Jey Uso comes out. Jey yeets for 10 minutes. So Jey just tells Cody that they're in the trenches. They've both been at the mountaintop. They've been to the mountaintop. He tells Cody that this Monday there's only room for one of them. Cody knows that Jey is... my bad. Jey knows that Cody's going to bring it. It's not personal. It's business. So, yeah. Then Sami Zayn comes out. He puts over both Cody and Jey. He said he's proud of both of them. But he really wants to become world champion. He's the only one that's not won the world heavyweight championship. He tells Jey that he had to miss WrestleMania this year. And then he got his ass on a plane to go see him, to congratulate him. He did the same thing with Cody. He put him over. Sammy basically wants to finish his story and become world champion. Randy Orton, he comes out to a massive reaction. Randy tells Cody that there's no line that he won't cross, even if it means going through him to face John Cena at SummerSlam. Randy tells Jey that he respects him, and their families go way back, nothing but love. But if Jey is standing in front of him, it'll be 3 letters, 1 move. I like that. Randy says he can speak for himself. Cody, Jey, and everyone in the arena can speak when he says, one day soon, Sami Zayn will be champion. But SummerSlam is not that day because tonight he'll be on the receiving end of the most 3 devastating dangerous letters in all sports entertainment. Nice. So I do like that. So this leads us into Randy Orton defeating Sami Zayn via the RKO. Match was pretty good. Orton went for the RKO a lot. Sami Zayn dodged it and blocked it a lot. And Orton ended up doing his sitting. My bad. Orton ended up doing his signature backbreaker on the announce table. He did that twice. That was great. Sami sold it perfectly. Sami went for another haluva kick, but then Orton hit the RKO. 1, 2, 3. Orton advances to the finals. That's fine. We all know that Cody is going to advance on Monday. That's a no-brainer. This is fine. This is great if you ask me. I think having Randy mention, soon that Sami Zayn is going to be world champion, that's a foreshadow for Sami Zayn either winning the Royal Rumble next year, because it is going to be in Saudi Arabia next year, or he's going to win the Elimination Chamber. But I think that Sami Zayn's going to win the Rumble. So that makes the most sense. It wouldn't hurt anyway. It would not hurt. Sami Zayn's obviously going to be, the main event guy on Raw. That's fine. Again, people have to realize that the World Heavyweight Championship, since its inception, has just been the second coming of the Intercontinental Championship. That is all it is. Nothing more and nothing less. It is a work rate title. That's all it is. It's a work rate / workhorse title. That's all it is. That is all it is. And I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's me. So good shit there. I'm pretty sure, like I said before, Karrion Kross and Sami Zayn are going to have their match in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, it's going to be on the card, which is great. So that gets Kross on the show. And we all know Sami Zayn's going to be on the show. So, yeah, that makes perfect sense. So, good stuff there. Moving on. Let's lead us into Nia Jax. Oh, my God. No. She really doesn't say anything. She just says that, it's crazy that Tiffany Stratton approached her to be under her wing because she knew what she could do for her. She's thriving. And thanks to her, but the thing she got was that she was betrayed and she has her title. So, Tiffany comes out to a really good reaction. She tells Nia that she's like a toxic ex that she can't get away from, which is true. She tells her to get over it and stop making excuses. So Tiffany said that Nia should admit she's better than her. Nia tells her that Tiffany is so much better than her. Why don't she give her a rematch? She said they're going to have the rematch. It's going to be next week, but it's not going to be just a regular match. It's going to be a last woman standing match. And then Tiffany and Nia, they have a little brawl real quick. Nia destroys Tiffany. She hits a spine buster and her leg drop a couple of times. Naomi comes out. She attempts to cash in, but to no avail. Naomi has her legs grabbed by Nia Jax. She drags her back down. The two of them begin to argue. And then Tiffany drop kicks Naomi into Nia. And Tiffany poses with her title, and that was the end of the segment. So that's fine there. I don't care about this shit. Once Nia loses, you gotta put her somewhere else. Put her on Raw, put her on NXT, I don't give a fuck. Put her somewhere else. Or you could do Nia in like a tag team. I think that would be fine. Maybe her and Piper Niven. That'd be pretty cool. But, Piper Niven is with the Secret Service. But maybe you could add Nia in that. And that would be pretty cool. You have Nia and Piper Niven. I think that would be interesting as a team. And you put Nia in the tag division if you're going to really do anything with those fucking belts. But I doubt it. Moving on. This leads us into Charlotte Flair versus Chelsea Green. Charlotte Flair defeats Chelsea Green via the figure 8. Match didn't last but maybe like 5 minutes or whatever. So that's fine there. Post-match, Piper Niven comes in and attacks Charlotte Flair. Same thing with Alba Fire. So Alexa Bliss shows up. And the two of them fight off the Secret Service. Alexa extends her hand. Charlotte does not shake Alexa's hand and walks away. So that's fine. So clearly, we know where this shit is going. So, yeah. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with it. You put Charlotte and Alexa as a tag team, that's good. They're both veterans. They've been around for years. That's fine. Moving on. So, Jeff Cobb is backstage. He's stepping up his hand. Solo asks him what's he doing, and Jeff Cobb tells him he wants to take out Jacob. Solo tells him he won't, and he'll talk to him. Solo says he needs Jacob Fatu. My bad. Solo says Fatu needs him, but he tells JC Mateo to be ready. So then this leads us into Solo Sikoa. He comes out. He basically wants Jacob Fatu to come back to the family. He's the only one that brought him in. He says, like families, they fight all the time. They fight, they argue, they forgive, and they move forward. He tells Jacob they can move forward as one. Solo says that he was the only one that saw potential in Jacob Fatu. He said no one wanted him. That's why he brought him in. He gave him the opportunity to change his life and put food on his table for his family. He tells Jacob that he did that because he loves him. And to be honest, he doesn't have anybody else. All he has is him. What are you talking about? You got Jimmy, you got Jay. What the fuck are you talking about, Solo? Whatever. But we know what he means in storyline purposes. We know what he means by that. So Jacob Fatu, he says that Solo loves him. This is what it comes down to. Solo loving him. He tells Solo that the only way, the way he sees things, he says Solo's just been using him just to gain power, to fight his battles, so he can stay tribal chief. Jacob Fatu says ever since he won the U.S. title, Solo's the one who's been acting different. Maybe Jacob Fatu isn't the problem. Maybe the problem is the United States Championship. So, Jacob Fatu then places the title between him and Solo on the mat. He says, and if that's the reason, he tells Solo to fight him for it. He tells Solo that that he's going to be the one to warn him one time. My bad. That he's going to warn him only one time, only once. So, the two of them, they begin to brawl. Solo was going to go for the Samoan spike, but Jacob blocks it. So, Jeff Cobb comes in, and there's some more brawling that takes place. Jimmy Uso shows up. He takes out both Solo and Jeff Cobb only for a brief moment. Solo then gets the upper hand for a brief moment. Jacob Fatu shows up, cleans house, and then him and Jimmy have a stare down, and that was it. So that's fine there. I thought they were going to bring in Hikuleo, but they didn't. Clearly, he had his dark match last week, and it was not that good. I don't know. They might be putting... they could be saving Hikuleo for Crown Jewel. So maybe that's why he wasn't there again. So maybe they'll put him, and show him at Crown Jewel, maybe. I don't know. I really don't care about this stuff, though. Moving on, this leads us into Bronson Reed versus LA Knight. Basically, it was a DQ finish. So LA Knight wins via DQ. Braun Breaker spears LA Knight. Then post-match, Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, they beat the shit out of LA Knight. Braun hits 2 spears, and then Bronson Reed hits 3 tsunamis in a row, which was fucking awesome. So good shit there. I like that. But Seth Rollins was not there, so what the hell? Moving on, this leads us into Jacob Fatu. He's backstage and said that he just spoke to the man, and next Saturday at Night of Champions, it's going to be him and Solo Sikoa for the U.S. title. Jacob Fatu said he's going to dog walk his ass. I do like that. That's pretty cool. That's probably where Hikuleo will show up. So that's probably when he's going to make his debut. That's probably where it's going to be at. So, yeah. Moving on. John Cena versus R-Truth. It ends in DQ. Just like how LA Knight and Bronson Reed ended, which is fine. So Cena and Truth, they brawl up the ramp for a brief moment. Then Cena just hits R-Truth with the title. Referee calls for the bell. So CM Punk shows up. Him and Cena, they brawl for a brief moment. Cena then low blows CM Punk. He hits him with the belt, and he does the attitude adjustment through the table. And then he proceeds to cut the pipe bomb. Now, this thing was rather long. I'm not going to go over this entire thing. It's way too fucking long. But he says that he can digest... my bad. So, basically, Cena gets on the rope, and he cuts his version of the pipe bomb from 14 years ago. He says, first things first, he doesn't hate CM Punk. He doesn't even dislike him. He likes him. He likes him more than anyone he's ever shared a locker room with. He hates this idea of CM Punk being the best in the world. He's not. He's the greatest of all time. He says that CM Punk is better than him at one thing, and that's being the best bullshitter in the world. So, Cena says they chant for CM Punk. They sing to him, but they don't believe a goddamn word he says because CM Punk changes his values as much as John Cena changes his t-shirt. Damn, that was insane. I love that. CM Punk is an opportunist over the necks of people who broke their necks. He says hi to Claudio Castagnoli, Nick Nemeth, and Matt Cardona, which was good. So that gets a reaction from the crowd. Basically, he asked Punk what he's done since then. He just repeated the same 5 promo words of doom. He's no longer the voice of the voices. He's a millionaire, despite himself. He's not Punk. He's a capitalist. He's not against TKO. He's Mr. TKO. He says they knocked his balls technically off his body. His tweets are strong, but his actions are weak. And in Saudi Arabia, he's going to face some loud music when he proves to the world that each and every day in, day out, no days off for 25 years, he's been the greatest of all time. John Cena then says they know that Punk was the best in the world for 7 minutes, 14 years ago. And after Night of Champions, CM Punk is still delusional enough to believe that he's the best in the world. He guesses it's a small world after all. And then that was the end of the show, basically. Cena just then continues to mock Punk. He says it's fine. He won't do any more damage. Punk has a big title match. He says the best in the world against the greatest of all time. For the most coveted prize in sports entertainment, the WWE Undisputed Championship. He says, who will sing. He says, my bad. John Cena says he knows you will sing and chant, but even the idiots are smart enough to see the truth. The champ is here. And then Cena just says that Elvis has left the mother fudging building. And then Cena thanks CM Punk for letting him steal his promo to make him look even more foolish. This was great. I love this. This is some really good shit there. I really do love this. This was great. I love this. This was tremendous. A bit long, but it was good. So, good stuff here. So, SmackDown, for the most part, was okay. The first half of the show, like I said before, was missable, kind of boring. The Solo Sikoa Jacob Fatu stuff is okay. That's fine. We should see the return of Hikuleo at Night of Champions. The John Cena CM Punk stuff was good. Randy Orton winning the King of the Ring, advancing to the finals was fine. That makes perfect sense. So we all know Cody is going to advance on Monday. So, yeah. But all in all, SmackDown was okay for the most part. What did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.